Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Welcome to Chaitanya Charitamrita class.
Ten
Hare
shlokas you
Krishna.
can read. 10 shlokas.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, those who want to read, please raise your hands. 19.61, Prabhuji, we have to start from.
Who will be reading? Wait a minute. Sneha Mata, Renuka Mataji, Sindhu Mataji, Yamuna Mataji.
Sneha Mataji, please start. Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Mataji, give me
please
a
start.
minute. I will just remove the text in my book also. Text
Okay.
61, right?
Yes,
19.61.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat.
से काले वल्लभ भट्ट रहे आधल ग्राम में महाप्रभु आइले सुनी आइला तारे स्थाने. That's the translation, Prabhuji.
Translation and the purport.
Oh. At that time, Sri Vallabh Bhatt was staying at Adilgram, and when he heard that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had arrived, he went to his place to see him. Vallabh Bhatt was a great learned scholar of Vaishnavism. In the beginning, he was very much devoted to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but since he thought that he could not receive proper respect from him, he later joined the Vishnu Swami sect and became the Acharya of that sect. His sect is celebrated as the Vallabhacharya Sampradaya. This Sampradaya has had great influence in Vrindavan, near Gokul, and in Bombay. Vallabh Bhatt wrote many books, including a commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam called Subodhini Tika and notes on the Vedanta Sutra in the form of an Anubhashya. He also wrote a combination of 16 short works.
This is about the fourth Sampradaya, what we called as the mantra is Shri Krishna Sharanam Mamam. Vallabhacharya. Right?
He also wrote a combination of 16 short works called Sodasha Grantha. The village where he was staying, Adailagram or Adeligram, was near the confluence of the rivers Ganges and Yamuna, on the other hand of the Yamuna from Prayag. About 1 mile from the river, a temple of Lord Vishnu there still belongs to the Vallabh Sampradaya. Vallabh Bhatt was originally from a place in southern India called Trailanga. There is a railway station there called Nidadhabhalu. 16 miles from that station is a village called Kankadabada or Kankurapadu. A learned Brahmana named Lakshman Dikshita used to live there, and Vallabh Bhatt was his son. There are 5 sections of the Brahman community of Andhra Pradesh known as Bela Nati, Vegi Nati, Murki Nati, Telugu Nati, and Kashala Nati. Out of these 5 Brahmanical communities, Vallabhacharya took his birth in the community of Bela Nati in the year 1400, Shakhabda era, AD 1478. According to some people, Vallabha Bhattacharya's father took sannyas before Vallabh's birth and he returned home to take Vallabhacharya as his son. According to the opinion of others, Vallabhacharya was born in 1400 Shakabda era on the Ekadashi day of the dark moon in the month of Chaitra, and he took his birth in a Brahmana family surnamed Kambhampati Bharu. According to this account, his father's name was Lakshmana Bhatt Dikshita and he was born in Champakaranya. In someone else's opinion, Vallabhacharya appeared near the village named Chanpajharagrama, which is near a railway station named Rajima in Madhya Pradesh. After studying for 11 years at Varanasi, Vallabhacharya returned home. On his return, he heard that his father had departed from the material world. Keeping his brother and mother at home, he went to the banks of the river Tungabhadra to a village called Vidyanagara, where he enlightened Krishna Dev, the grandson of King Bhukaraja. After that, he traveled throughout India thrice on trips lasting 6 years each. Thus, he passed 18 years and became victorious in his discussions of revealed scriptures. When he was 30 years old, he married Mahalakshmi, who belonged to the same Brahmana community as his. Near Govardhan Hill, he established a deity in the valley. Finally, he came to Adaila, which is on the other side of the Yamuna from Prayag. Vallabhacharya had two sons, Gopinath and Vithaleshwar, and in his old age he accepted the renounced order. In 1452, Shakabda era, AD 1530, he passed away from the material world at Varanasi. His book known as Sodas Grantha and his commentaries on the Vedanta Sutra, Anubhashya, and Srimad Bhagavatam Subodhini are very famous. He wrote many other books besides. Text 62. Teno dandavat kaila prabhu kaila alanga dui jane Krishna katha haila katashana. Teno Vallabha Bhattacharya offered Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu his obeisances and the Lord embraced him. After that, they discussed topics about Krishna for some time. Krishna kathaya prabhur mahaprema uthalila bhattera sankoche prabhu samvarana kaila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt great ecstatic love when they began discussing Krishna. But the Lord checked his feelings because he felt shy before Vallabh Bhatt. Antare ghar ghar prema nahe samvarana dekhi chamatkara haila Vallabh Bhatte ramana. Although the Lord restrained himself externally, ecstatic love raged within. There was no checking that. Vallabh Bhatt was astonished to detect this. तबे भट्ट महाप्रभु रे निमंत्रण कैला महाप्रभु दुई भाई ताहार मिलैला. Thereafter, Vallabh Bhatt invited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for lunch, and the Lord introduced the brothers Rupa and Vallabh to him. दुई भाई दूरा हैते भूमि तपड़िया भट्टे दंडवत कैला अति दीन हाया. From a distance, the brothers Rupa Goswami and Sri Vallabh fell on the ground and offered obeisances to Vallabh Bhatt with great humility. Bhatta mili bare yaya dune palaya dure asprishye pamara muni na chuniya more. When Vallabh Bhattacharya walked towards them, they ran away to a more distant place. Rupa Goswami said, I am untouchable and most sinful. Please do not touch me. Text 68. Bhattera Vishmaya Haila Prabhura Harshamana Bhattera Kahila Prabhu Tara Vivarana. Vallabh Bhattacharya was very much surprised at this. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, however, was very pleased and he therefore spoke to him this description of Rupa Goswami. Ino naspashiha ino jati atihina vaidika yagnika tumhi kulina pravina. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, don't touch him for he belongs to a very low caste. You are a follower of Vedic principles and are a well-experienced performer of many sacrifices. You also belong to the aristocracy. Generally, Brahmanas are puffed up with false prestige because they belong to the aristocracy and perform many Vedic sacrifices. In South India especially, this fastidious position is most prominent. At any rate, this was the case 500 years ago. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually started a revolution against this Brahminical system by inaugurating the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. By this chanting, one can be delivered regardless of caste, creed, or color or social position. Whoever chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is immediately purified due to the transcendental position of devotional service. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here hinting to Vallabh Bhattacharya that an exalted Brahmana who makes sacrifices and follows Vedic principle should not neglect a person who is engaged in devotional service by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Actually, Rupa Goswami did not belong to a lower caste. He was from a highly aristocratic Brahmana family, but due to his association with the Muslim Nawab, he was considered fallen and was excommunicated from Brahmana society. However, due to his advanced devotional service, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted him as a Goswami. Vallabh Bhattacharya knew all this. One who was a devotee is above caste and creed, yet Vallabh Bhattacharya felt himself prestigious. The present head of the Vallabha Bhattacharya Sampradaya of Bombay is named Dikshita Maharaj. He is very friendly to our movement, and whenever we meet him, this learned Brahmin scholar highly praises the activities of the Hare Krishna movement. He is a life member of our society, and although he is a learned scholar in the Brahminical caste tradition, he accepts our society and considers its members bona fide devotees of Lord Vishnu. दुहार मुखे निरंतर कृष्ण नाम शूनी भट्ट कहे प्रभुर किछु इंगित भंगी जानी. Hearing the holy name constantly vibrated by the two brothers, Vallabh Bhattacharya could understand the hints of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna.
Mataji,
Yes, Prabhuji.
read one more shloka and you can end.
Okay, Prabhuji. दुहार मुखे कृष्ण नाम करी छे नतान इदुई अधम नहे हय सर्वोत्तम. Vallabh Bhattacharya said, since these two are constantly chanting the holy name of Krishna, how can they be untouchables? On the contrary, they are most exalted. Vallabh Bhattacharya's admission of the brother's exalted position should serve a lesson to one who is falsely proud of his position as a Brahmana. Sometimes so called Brahmanas do not recognize our European and American disciples as devotees or Brahmanas. And some Brahmanas are so proud that they do not allow them to enter temples. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu herein gives a great lesson. Although Vallabh Bhattacharya was a great authority on Brahmanism and a learned scholar, he admitted that those who chant the Lord's holy name are bona fide Brahmanas and Vaishnavas and are therefore exalted. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Before going to the next 10 shlokas, let us discuss these 10 shlokas. So, my question is to the forum: what is Srila Prabhupada trying to say in all this purport? And what is the lesson that we are getting?
The one who chants the Mahamantra is the most respectable person instead of the caste or creed.
Okay. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. And besides, he's even above the Brahmanas. One who chants, he is an exalted devotee of the Lord. And he's the highest Vaishnava and he's above Brahmanas also because he is constantly chanting the name of the Lord.
What do you understand by the mood of Mahaprabhu saying, no, 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 you don't touch him? They are very fallen. Why is Mahaprabhu saying that? And what we understand from the mood of Rupa Goswami and Vallabh Bhatt, how they behaved and why they behaved that way. And ultimately, how did Vallabhacharya reacted and what he did?
Actually, Rupa Goswami was serving the Nawab. So
Hmm.
hence he considered himself very fallen since he was in the association of the Nawab.
But
And he
actually,
was
he was
serving
never
and
fallen. He was
he was
never
never
fallen.
fallen. He considered himself fallen because
Yeah,
he
he
was
was never fallen. He was the most exalted person. He was from the Saraswat Brahman, and we should
Saraswat
understand why
Brahman.
he had taken this job of a Muslim because he wanted to save his community. He was told that if he would not join the community, the entire community will suffer. And to save, he had taken up. You
Yes,
know,
Prabhuji. Yes,
another
he was.
thing that when he uh, was given shelter by Mahaprabhu, he was constantly chanting the holy name, constantly. And it is said that the name has the power to purify one's millions and millions life of sin. And it's a lesson for a devotees, what we call as etiquettes, that when a person who is with knowledge, he bends down. But when a person, he has no knowledge, he has a ego very tall, he doesn't bend down. So the vinamrata, trinadapi sunichena, tarorapi sahishuna, amanina, manadena, kirtanya sadahari. We learn from here. We learn from Rupa Goswami that he never ever considered. He backed down. And when Vallabhacharya was coming, he was trying to embrace, he was because he was a high class Brahmana. He was going back. And that shows the mood of humility. That is what we call the humility. And Mahaprabhu, why did he did this? He could have told easily, no, no, they are very exalted. But he told, no, 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 don't touch him. Why? Why did he say that? Can anybody answer? Why did Mahaprabhu say that way? Why did he don't say this way?
Actually, he wanted to actually check the mood of Vallabha Bhattacharya. What
He
was his
wanted to test Vallabha Bhattacharya. He wanted to test him because he himself was an exalted devotee, and a devotee can understand another's devotees, the level. Huh? And that is how, when he saw that even though he may have joined the Muslim, he may have joined and served there, but constantly he's chanting the holy name. That itself, this itself is the criteria that he is the best Vaishnava. Because Satatam Kirti Yantomam Yatantascha Dradvrata Namasyantascha Mam Bhaktya Nitya Yuktopasa. This is the Mahatma Lakshan. Satatam Kirti Yantomam. He is constantly chanting my name. He is always remembering my name. So Mahaprabhu wanted to test Vallabhacharya. And through that test, he wanted to actually glorify Rupa Goswami. That a real Vaishnava can identify another real Vaishnava. And when he heard that how he is chanting, he told that since he's chanting, there cannot be any sin left in his life. How can there be any sin left? He has surrendered completely. So this is a lesson that we may come from a very wrong background. But if we are determination in our chanting and with a surrender to the Guru and Parampara, then Lord says that I will take care. Hmm? I will take care, and all his sins get destroyed. That is one thing we learn from over here through this incidents. Hmm? And here we also know the power of the holy name is described. That when he's seeing that Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami is constantly chanting the holy name, he understood that sin can never stay over there. That has the power. This incident actually is a test for Vallabhacharya and test for Rupa Goswami. And it's a lesson for all of us. Another thing that we learn that Prabhupada says that many Brahmanas, high class Brahmanas, they didn't accept it. Europeans, devotees, when they became white people and they became Brahmanas and they chanted the holy name, they didn't accept it. And they were not allowed sometime to come inside the temple also. But here Mahaprabhu is saying, any skin, any color, any person, if he is chanting the holy name and if he is surrendered, he is the highest Vaishnava. That is what is the lesson we learn from it. Okay? And that is what the movement is. This entire movement, we find that these foreigners have came and given the bhakti to us. And that bhakti we are taking and we are spreading out. Hmm? Okay, we can read the further 10 shlokas. Who will be reading another 10 shlokas?
I'll read, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Danvat Pranam. Text number 72. Aho bata swe pacho to gariyan yaja yaja jihavagrhe vartate name tubhyam te pustapaste juhu vuhu sasnu arya brahmachur nama grananti yete. Vallabha Bhattacharya then recited the following verse. My dear Lord, one who always keeps your holy name on his tongue become greater than an initiated Brahmana. Although he may be born in a family of dog eaters and may therefore, by material calculation, be the lowest among men, he is still glorious. This is the wonderful effect of chanting the holy name of the Lord. It is therefore concluded that one who chants the holy name of the Lord should be understood to have performed all kind of austerities and great sacrifices mentioned in the Vedas. He has already taken his bath in all the holy places of pilgrimage. He has studied all the Vedas and he is actually an Aryan. Purport. This verse is quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam 3.33.7.
Very, very important verse to prove that those who are chanting, they have done lot of punyas, lot of sukritis in their past life. Then it is possible that in this life they are able to chant this holy name. Yagya, Dan, Tap, they have done a lot of things in their past life. Then it is possible that somebody can be able to chant the holy name. Hmm? And when he is chanting constantly the holy name, he becomes much more higher than a Brahmana. Read further.
सुनी महाप्रभु तन्रे बहु प्रमशीला प्रेमावस्थाहन श्लोका पदिते लगीला. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very pleased to hear Vallabha Bhatta quoting from Shastra about the position of a devotee. The Lord praised him personally and feeling ecstatic love of Godhead began to quote many verses from the Shastra. Text number 74. Suchi sad bhakti dipta ganita durataji kamal kalma saha swapakop api budhes tak slagyo naveda janopi nastikaha. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, a person who has the pure characteristic of a Brahmana due to the devotional service, which is like a blazing fire burning to ashes all the sinful reactions of the past life, is certainly saved from the consequences of sinful acts, such as taking birth in a lower family. Even though he may be born in a family of dog eaters, he is recognized by learned scholars. However, actually, a person may be a learned scholar in Vedic knowledge, he is not recognized if he is an atheist. Purport. This verse and the next are quoted from Hari Bhakti Sudhodaya 3.11 and 12, a transcendental literature extracted from the Puranas. Bhagavata Bhakti Hinasya Jati Shastram Japastapa Apranasya Va Dehasya Mandanam Lokaran Ranajanam. For a person,
Mandanam Lokaranjanam. It is called Mandanam Lokaranjanam.
Mandanam Lok Ranjanam.
Yes.
For a person who is devoid of devotional service, birth in a great family or nation, knowledge of revealed scripture, performance of austerities and penance, and chanting of Vedic mantra are like ornaments on a dead body. Such ornaments simply serve the concocted pleasure of the general populace. Text number 76.
Very, very important statement here it is made that when a dead body is decorated, it is useless because it is no value. It only the people who are seeing it they may enjoy, but the dead body person is having no value. Similarly, when the soul is not connected with Krishna, when the soul is not serving Krishna, when the soul is not chanting the holy name, it is dead. And in such a state, when he is not doing bhakti, he may be doing austerity, he may be doing dan, he may be doing yajna, you may be doing many other things. So it is just like a decoration on the dead body. Please read further.
Text number 76. Prabhura prema
There is
visa.
one another shlok in Bhagavatam also, which says Shrama eva hi kevalam. Swanishchita punsam vishwakshena kathasuya na utpadayat yati ratam shrama eva hi keval. It is a waste of time. Please read further.
प्रभुरा प्रेम वेसा अरा प्रभवा भक्ति सरा सौंदर्यादि देखी भटेरा हेला चमत्कारा. Translation: When he saw the Lord's ecstatic love, Vallabhatacharya was certainly very astonished. He was also astonished by the Lord's knowledge of the essence of devotional service as well as by his personal beauty and influence. Text number 77. सगने प्रभु रे भट नौकते चढ़ाना भिक्षा देते निजा घरे चली लालाना. Vallabhatacharya then put Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associate aboard a boat and took them to his own place to offer them lunch. Text number 78. Yamunara jala dekhi chikana shamala prema vese Mahaprabhu haela vihavala. While crossing the river Yamuna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the glossy black water and was immediately bewildered with ecstatic love. Text number 79. Hunkara kari yamunara jale dila janpa Prabhu dekhi sabara mane hala bhaya kanpa. Translation: Indeed, as soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the river Yamuna, he immediately made a great sound and jumped into the water. Everyone was filled with fear and trembling to see this. Text number 80. Aste vyaste sabe dhari Prabhu re uthela Naukara upare Prabhu nachite lagila. They all hastily grabbed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and pulled him out of the water. One on the boat's platform, the Lord began to dance. Text number 81.
Mataji,
Mahaprabhu.
somebody can, other can read now. 81. Renuka Mata can read.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Please read from 80 to 90.
Yes. Mahaprabhura bhare nauka kare tala mala dubi tela gila nauka jhala ke bhara jala. Due to the Lord's heavy weight, the boat began to tilt. It began filling up with water and was on the verge of sinking. यद्यपि भटेरा आगे प्रभुरा धैर्य हाइला मन दुर्वारा उद्भट प्रेम नहे संवराना. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tried to restrain himself as far as possible before Vallabhacharya, but although he tried to keep calm, his ecstatic love could not be checked. देशपत्र देखी महाप्रभु धैर्य हाइला अदैलेरा घाटे नौका आसी उतारीला. Seeing the circumstances, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finally became calm so that the boat was able to reach the shore of Adaila and land there. बाए भट्ट संगे रहे मध्याना करना निज गृह अनिला प्रभुरे संगीते लाना. Fearing for the Lord's welfare, Vallabh Bhattacharya stayed in his association. After arranging for his bath, the Bhattacharya took the Lord to his own house. आनंदिता हया भट्ट दिला दिव्य आसना अपना करिला प्रभुरा पद प्रक्षलाना. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived at his home, Vallabha Bhattacharya, being greatly pleased, offered the Lord a nice sitting place and personally washed his feet. स्वंशे से जल मस्तके धरीला नौतना कौपीना बहिर्वाशा paraila. Vallabh Bhattacharya and his whole family then sprinkled that water over their heads. They then offered the Lord new underwear and outer garments. गंध पुष्प धूपे दीपे महापूजा कैला भट्टाचार्य मन्य करी पाक करैला. Vallabhacharya worshipped the Lord with great pomp, offering scents, incense, flowers, and lamps, and with great respect he introduced Balabhadra Bhattacharya, the Lord's cook, to cook. Bhiksha karaila prabhure सस्नेहाय ताने रूप गोसानी दुई भाई कराइला भोजाने. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was offered lunch with great care and affection. The brothers Rupa Goswami and Sri Vallabh were also offered food. Bhattacharya Sri Rupe Deila Avashesha Tabe Sei Prasad Krishna Dasa Paila Shesha. Vallabha Bhattacharya first offered the remnants of the Lord's food to Srila Rupa Goswami and then to Krishna Dasa. मुखे वास दिया प्रभु रे कराइलस शयना अपने भट्ट करे न प्रभुर पद संवाहना. The Lord was then given spices to purify his mouth. Afterwards, he was made to rest, and Vallabha Bhattacharya personally massaged his legs. प्रभु पथैला तारे करी ते भोजने भोजन करी ऐला ते हो प्रभुर चराने. While Vallabh Bhattacharya was massaging him, the Lord asked him to go take prasadam. After taking prasadam, he returned to the lotus feet of the Lord. हेना काइले आइला रघुपति उपाध्याय तिरुहिता पंडित बड़ा वैष्णव महाशय. At that time, Raghupati Upadhyaya of the Tiruhita district arrived. He was a very learned scholar, a great devotee, and a respectable gentleman. Tiruhita or Tiruhitia is a combination of 4 districts in Bihar: Saran, Champaran, Muzaffarpur, and Darbhanga. The people of this state are called Tirutia. आसीतेनो कैल प्रभुरा चरण वंदन कृष्ण मति रहु बलि प्रभुर वचन. Raghupati Upadhyay first offered his respects to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Lord gave him his blessings, saying, "Always stay in Krishna consciousness."
Mataji,
Shuniyanand.
we can
Yes.
finish up to 95 is na? We can finish up to 100. Be up to 100. Read and we'll finish it off. We'll discuss that.
I'll complete it, or someone else is reading.
Somebody wants, they can read up to 100.
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please read up to 100.
From verse 94.
94.
I'm reading, Mataji. Can I read?
Yes, from verse 94.
Okay, ji. Okay, ji. 94. शुनि आनंदित हैल उपाध्यर मान प्रभु तारे कहिल कह कृष्णेर वर्णन. Raghupati Upadhyay was very pleased to hear the Lord's blessings. The Lord then asked him to describe Krishna. निज कृत कृष्ण लीला श्लोक पढ़िल शुनि महाप्रभुर महाप्रेमावेश हैल. When Raghupati Upadhyay was requested to describe Krishna, he began to recite some verses he had personally composed about Krishna's pastimes. Hearing those verses, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was overwhelmed with ecstatic love. श्रुतिमपरे स्मृतिमितरे भारतमन्ये भजन्तु भवभीताः अहमिह नन्दं वन्दे यस्य लिन्दे परं ब्रह्म. Raghupati Upadhyay recited let me read. Those who are afraid of material existence worship Vedic literature. Some worship Smriti, the corollaries to Vedic literature, and others worship the Mahabharata. As far as I am concerned, I worship Maharaj Nand, the father of Krishna, in whose courtyard the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, is playing. Purport: this verse recited by Raghupati Upadhyay was later included in Sri Rupa Goswami's Padyavali 126. आगे कह प्रभु वाक्य उपाध्याय कहिल रघुपति उपाध्याय नमस्कार कैल. When Raghupati Upadhyay was requested by the Lord to recite more, he immediately offered his respects to the Lord and granted his request. कम प्रति कथिये तु मेषे सम्प्रति को वा प्रतिमायतु गोपति तनया कुंजे गोप विधूति विटम ब्रह्म. To whom can I speak? Who will believe me when I say that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is hunting the gopis in the bushes by the banks of river Yamuna? In this way, the Lord demonstrates his pastimes. Purport: this verse was also later included in Padyavali 98, verse 99. प्रभु कहे तो हो पढ़े कृष्ण लीला प्रेमावेश प्रभु देह मन आयु यैला. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested Raghupati Upadhyay to continue speaking about the pastimes of Sri Krishna. Thus, the Lord was absorbed in ecstatic love, and his mind and body slackened. Purport: our minds and bodies are always engaged in material activities. When they are activated on the spiritual platform, they slacken on the material platform. Last 100, not last from the chapter, but last which we are reading today. प्रेम देखी उपाध्याय हैल चमत्कार मनुष्य नहीं हो कृष्ण करेल निर्धार. When Raghupati Upadhyay saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic symptoms, he decided that the Lord was not a human being, but Krishna himself.
Okay, so we can stop
Hare
here. And in this verses, what is the lesson that we are learning from Raghupati Upadhyay, Mahaprabhu dancing in the boat, and the way uh, Vallabhacharya received and served Mahaprabhu? What do we learn from all these things?
One thing,
Somebody can,
Prabhuji, sorry, just
yes,
one
yes.
thing that Mahaprabhu also mentioned that even the glories of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So he said that even if you are born in a family of dog eaters, but if you are chanting the mantra, so you are an exalted
Mahaprabhu didn't
personality.
told that. This Vallabhacharya told this thing.
Sorry. Okay. Vallabhacharya.
Yeah.
So then you are exalted. But if even if you're born as in a Brahmin family, but you are not chanting, then you are fallen. So
Yeah. So even if somebody is born in a lower family and he is chanting the holy name, it is considered that he is higher than the Brahmana if he's constantly chanting the holy name. And he has done all the yajnas, dan, and tapa. Okay, ठीक है. Any other lesson that we learn? Yes, Neha Mata. Sneha Mata. Anybody else? Puja Mataji, Yamuna Mataji, Krishna Bandhu Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Vaishnava
Krishna Bandhu
etiquette,
Prabhu. Yes, Krishna Bandhu
instead of
Prabhu. Yes,
Vaishnava etiquette to be followed is demonstrated when exalted devotees are present. How they have to be
yes.
treated, how they have to be conducted, etc., is being demonstrated in all these activities.
Very nice, very nice. How to receive a Brahmana, how to
Yeah.
receive a devotee, how he has to be served, how he has to be given the seat, how the feet have to be washed, how the arti has to be done, and how the water has to be sprinkled, how the remnants has to be distributed. Huh? We always say, Teen Mahabal,
Yeah.
Bhakta Charana Dhul,
Dhul, Bhakta
Bhakta
Charan,
Bhukta Avshesh, and Bhakta uh,
Charanamrit.
Charanamrit. These are the three Mahabal. And here we can see that this has been presented. Etiquettes and the behavior is shown in this way, that how one has to receive the senior people and how we have to take the blessings from them. Any other things that we learn in this shloka, Sneha Mata?
Also,
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
Hare
yeah.
Krishna. Who is saying?
Prabhuji, I can just say one point. Sorry,
Hmm.
Snehamata, you want to say, please?
No, it's okay, Mataji. I can say after you. No problem.
Yes.
Just sorry, so I just want to say one point that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had so much of love for Lord Krishna, the ecstatic love, that wherever he would see, seeing the Yamuna water, he would just, you know what, out of that expression of love, he would see the blackish color of Krishna. He would just see Krishna everywhere, in everything.
Yeah.
Even in the sand
Yes.
dunes, when he saw sand dunes, he saw Giri Govardhan.
Yes.
So like he was so excited and so much enthusiastic about Lord Krishna कि हमको देखना पड़ता है भगवान को, अपने मन को समझाना पड़ता है कि देखो भगवान का इसमें हाथ
घंटी
है,
बजा के
और
उठा लो।
उनको वही दिखाई दे रहा है।
Alka Mata ji, you're mute yourself. Yes, Mata ji.
प्रभु हम लोग एक एफर्ट करते हैं कि हमको कृष्णा को ढूंढना पड़ता है कि ये चीज मुझे फेवर नहीं कर रही, इसमें कृष्णा को कहाँ ढूंढूं। But for exalted devotees, of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and exalted devotees, it is so very nice and it is so easy for them to accept and see Krishna in
Wherever
everything.
they see Krishna.
Everywhere, everywhere.
In everything,
Yes.
they see Krishna.
हमको force
You
करना पड़ता है।
know why Radharani wears, yellow garment? Because the color of Lord, this why she wears the blue sari actually, Radharani wears the blue. Why? Because the color of Krishna is blue. Everything, if she's seeing a black thing, she sees a hair, she remembers Krishna. If she sees, anything which is connected with name of Krishna, anything, she remembers Krishna. But when she's in Man Bhav, she doesn't want to see anything which is connected with Krishna because she gets frustrated. Whenever I see anything, I remember Krishna. That is the love part. And that love of Radharani is demonstrated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this Leela. That he's seeing the Yamuna, means that blackish thing. And in the ecstasy, he cannot control and is dancing in the boat. And here also we learn one thing, that Raghupati Upadhyay, when he is asking Krishna Leela. So devotees, when they speak with one another, they should be speaking about Krishna. They should not speak anything else. Sneha Mata, what you wanted to add?
Yes, I wanted to add this, Prabhuji, that the Lord is so happy listening to his own Leela. So whenever we are in front of the Lord, we must glorify him. Like
Yes,
he
yes,
keeps
yes.
telling Raghupati ki talk about Krishna, talk about
Talk
Krishna.
about Krishna. Mad chitta, mad gatta prana udayante parasparam. Kathayantascha mam nitya tushyanti cha ramanti sha. Lord says that devotees feel very happy when they discuss Krishna Katha. In material world, those who are which level they discuss, they feel happy. Tamasi will be discussing, women and gambling and cheating. Rajogun people, when they meet, they talk about business, they talk about money, they talk about power. But when devotees meet, they talk about Krishna, the Katha of Krishna, the Seva of Krishna. And that way they feel happy. And that is what is demonstrated over here. Any other points? Renuka Mataji?
Hare
No,
Krishna, Prabhu.
no, Prabhuji, they said it all.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Danvat Pranam.
Yeah, Yamuna Mataji. What is the...
There is one point when the Lord feels ecstasy and is absorbed in that ecstatic love. His
Yeah.
mind and body slackened.
Yes. So this Ashta Satvik Vikars is shown
Yes.
in the body.
Hmm.
So these are the symptoms of the bhakti. These are the symptoms of higher bhava. And we have to reach to that level of our life, in this life. We have to raise to our level. And if we are not raising to that level, very less chances of going back to Goloka. We'll have to take another birth. And then wherever we are left, we have to again go to that level at least. Huh? Yes. Sneha Mata, you have raised hand. Anybody else want to say something?
Prabhupada is explaining that those who are on the material platform, they can never experience such kind of a thing. that
Yes, yes.
ecstasy and that kind of love for Godhead.
Mm.
They can
Mm.
experience, but
Yes,
because we have to be engaged in Krishna consciousness always to
yes.
feel something little bit also like this.
Mm. Yeah, material people will never be able to understand what they will always say that ये हरे कृष्ण वाले पागल है, सब लोग पागल है, they are mad. इनको और कुछ आता नहीं है. हाँ? Yes. Anything?
Prabhuji, can I say something?
Yes.
So, Prabhuji, this Raghupati Upadhyay had composed some verses for Krishna.
Hmm.
And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard these verses, because Raghupati Upadhyay was a great scholar, so when he heard this, he was very ecstatic
Hmm.
about the verses, because Lord likes to hear the Shrutis, because as we know, Lord is Shruti Priya. He
Yeah.
loves it when we do the Shrutis. And
Yeah.
one point, Prabhuji, which he makes here, it's very important. He says that, people worship the Vedas, the Vedic literature, some worship the Smritis, some worship the Mahabharata. But as far as I'm concerned, I always worship Nanda Maharaj, in whose courtyard the Supreme
Yeah.
Personality always plays. So I,
Yes.
I like this verse number 96,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
where he says, that
Yes.
this is what I always think about Nanda
Yeah.
Maharaj, and I always think about Vrindavan Dham, and where Krishna always plays. So
Hmm.
this is the form of Krishna which I love.
Yes. 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 So Radha Damodar, we know the Damodar Ashtakam,
Yes.
Satyavrat Muni also says the same thing.
Same
Huh?
thing.
I also
Yes.
always want to see that Swarupa. The
Of
Lord is rubbing his eyes and is bounded by mother in love.
Mother.
That type
Yes.
of Rupa should always be in my mind and in my heart. Hmm?
Yes. So this
This
is
is
a
what is called as Bhava Bhakti, Prema Bhakti.
prema bhakti. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So let us summarize in the entire shlokas in today. What are the main points which we learned in this 30-40 shlokas? Somebody can summarize in few minutes the main points again. Sneha Mata,
Hare
Alka
Krishna.
Mata.
Yeah,
Yes,
Hare
Mata.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Summarize some main
Yeah.
points what we learned today.
Main points are that even if a person is a dog eater, once he chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, he is above a Brahmana, he is the most exalted devotee, and he is the best Vaishnava.
Yes, and that's for the caste, creed, color. Doesn't
Does not
matter.
matter at all. And that is one thing. And even Srila Prabhupada experienced this rejection
The
by the
Brahmanas,
Indian
Vrindavan
devotees,
Brahmanas.
by the Brahmanas. They did not allow the Americans and Europeans to enter that Puri temple. So there
Yeah.
was a lot of this, even though he requested that they are such wonderful people who follow all the regulative principles,
Yes,
but they
yes.
were not allowed.
In the
And
Vrindavan also, many people had a problem in accepting them.
mhm. And then, like the next thing we spoke about was how we should receive the senior devotees.
Yes,
So
indeed.
how they welcome Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they washed his feet, and the three important balas, the dust of
Devotee
the devotees, the remnants of the devotees, and the charnamrit of the devotees are the most
to be
important
taken.
things that will help us increase our bhakti.
Yes, yes, very nice.
Then the third thing we spoke about was we should glorify the Lord whenever we get the opportunity, because Lord feels very happy
Hmm.
whenever we sing the Shrutis in front of him.
Yeah.
And the Ashtavikaras was shown by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes.
And he saw he was very, when he saw the Yamuna, he everywhere, like actually we should see the Lord everywhere possible. Like
Yes,
that
yes,
is
yes.
the message that was they're trying to convey, that when even while seeing the Yamuna, he was remembering the Lord.
Yeah.
And Prabhuji, if I'm missing
And that is that
something,
highest point of bhakti.
Prema
And
Bhakti. That
if
is
we
Prema
prema
Bhakti,
bhakti,
Bhav Bhakti.
and if
Bhava
we have
Bhakti.
not reached in this life,
We
we'll have to go
have to
to
take
another
both
life
again.
and we have to try to achieve to that level.
Yes, Prabhuji, it is so difficult. We have to go to Vrindavan. I feel ki Vrindavan is the only place that can give us Prem Bhakti. Mumbai is too Maya, filled with Maya.
Main is that we should be associated with some seva of some senior people. That is more important.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so we can wind up, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
9 o'clock.
Yes.
Hari bol, Hari bol,
Hari bol,
Hari
Hari
bol,
bol, Hari
Hari
bol.
Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari
Hari
bol,
Bol.
Hari bol, Hari bol.
Haribol.
Hari Bol.